Hi, speakers. Week 3 is a big week because you will do your first speech that is your research-based presentation, which is your informative speech. So this week, much like the other weeks, you will have two different quizzes. So this week, for week 3, we ask that you do the readings and watch some videos associated with for quiz 6 and for quiz 7. And then we also will have a speech due on Sunday night. And so that will be your informative speech. I've made a video that gives you advice specifically on the informative video or the informative speech. The advice in that video that is linked there is for the in-person class. It's the same assignment. So in it, I don't make any references to the importance associated with making sure that you show us your audience at the beginning of your presentation and at the end of your presentation so that we know that they came, you delivered the speech to them, and then they stayed until the end. And I also don't mention that we need to make sure that you are standing on your feet delivering your speech and we can see you from the waist up. And then go ahead and show us your note cards, both the front and the back. You only have to do that once, either at the beginning of your speech or at the end of your speech so that we make sure that you're doing the speeches similarly to what we would do in the classroom. So I just wanted to give you that reminder because it's not in the video. But this speech itself, I will walk you through the length, how many minutes it's supposed to be, all of those things. One thing to keep in mind with this speech is that you are always welcome to text the helpline to make sure that your topic selection is on track. Occasionally, students will choose something that doesn't meet the criteria associated with the assignment. The informative speech, which is your second speech in this class, is a process. So you're explaining to your listeners something that we maybe take for granted that you're going to explain to us how it functions or works. And some students mistakenly make it a how-to speech. So you're not teaching us how to do something. Instead, you're explaining to us a process so that we have a greater understanding or perhaps even appreciation for it. So, for example, I just watched a video of a student who explains to us that, what exactly happens when you open a file on your computer and that you take it to your trash. Like, what happens on our computer with the different data. So, it was really helpful to understand why nothing is actually ever deleted from your computer, even once you've put it into the trash can. And he talked a little bit about temp files and a few other things. So, in the informative speech, you're going to want to make sure that you choose a topic that meets the expectation of the assignment. And then you're going to do research on something that you have interest on and that you think your audience doesn't already know the information associated with it. So this week, you will have two quizzes and then you will have your informative speech. Some of you have maybe really made a lot of progress on your challenges. So again, you're shooting for 10 out of the 20. And because we have 7 to 8 weeks in the class, you can do challenges for the all 7 weeks. You could do one a week and then have a few weeks where you do two. I really encourage you to try to do more early in this semester so that you can practice your speaking skills early in the semester. And then you just also get those points out of the way because what I have found is as the semester continues on, especially as we get towards the end of the semester, for many of you, your schedule becomes very hectic. The month of April can be really crazy for a lot of you. And then, too, some of you are starting to lose steam as we get to the end. And so you don't really want to wait until the end to have to do all of them. In addition to that, in week 6, which is a few weeks away, um, that is the assignment that's the biggest assignment in the class. The speech that week is the advocate speech, and it's worth 200 points. And so, I really think it's nice if you only have to focus that week on the speech and the quizzes. So please make sure that you are doing the challenges and that you are keeping track of how many you have and how many more you have that you have opportunities to do. We will, in the halfway point in the semester, go ahead and put a column on Canvas that will tell you where you are halfway at the end of week 4, how many challenges that you have completed. Okay, let me know if you have any questions about the informative speech, about any of the quizzes. It's always a good opportunity for you to get a challenge credit the week of a speech week because you can record yourself delivering that speech 3 different times. And if you do that, then you can get challenge credit for that. And it does 2 things. One, it typically improves your grade on the assignment. And two, it gets you some challenge points. We look forward to this week. If you have any questions about your grade on the introductory speech, or if you have any questions about the quiz grades, please let us know. Your lab instructors will grade your speeches. I'm the person who's in charge of your quizzes. Okay, thanks so much. We look forward to your speeches this week.